Anthony Grasso here, bringing you financial news you can use. In this video, I'm doing a stock analysis on Cassava Sciences. Are investors buying the hype that they thinking they cured Alzheimer's disease? Or did the company just make a moderate advancement? Let's find out together. I will go over a summary of the company, its product offerings, recent headline news, financials, analyst projections, and give it my buy, hold, or sell recommendation for both the short-term and long-term growth investors out there. And as always, folks, don't forget to smash that like button down below. It definitely helps me out on YouTube. And consider subscribing and hit that notification bell right there if you want to hear daily stock reviews and recommendations. So let's get right into it. So Cassava Sciences is a clinical stage biotechnology company. It develops drugs for nervous system disorders. Its lead therapeutic product candidate is the PTI-125. It's a small molecular drug which has completed phase 2B clinical trial. An investigational diagnostic product candidate is the SAVA DX, which is a blood-based biomarker diagnostic to detect Alzheimer's disease. Let's look at some news of what just happened with the stock because it just went skyrocketed today. So Motley Fool is reporting right now, can this biotech become the front runner in the fight against Alzheimer's disease? Now, what happened is the interim data release of an open label investigation revealed 50 patients with Alzheimer's disease saw a 10% improvement in their cognitive functions 6 months after treatment with simulfilon. Additionally, the same participants saw a 29% improvement in neuropsychiatric metrics such as anxiety, delusions, and agitation after dosage. The National Institutes of Health funded the study. Now, these results are consistent with another phase 2B study where patients treated with simulfilon saw a modest decrease in the activities of key biomarkers that they are theorized to call Alzheimer's. That data set showed simulfilon was superior to a placebo on a statistically significant basis. The drug was also well tolerated with no treatment-related serious adverse events. That's good news. And they do, but do not be dismayed by this small improvement, though. Currently, there is no cure for Alzheimer's disease, let alone a drug that could slow its progression. So this isn't a cure. This is just a small step forward. Any scientifically validated improvement at this point could lay out an easy path to regulatory approvals. Now let's just go look at some fundamentals before we get into more of that news. All right, so the company currently has a market capitalization right now of $1.27 billion, and the share price just came off its all-time high right now to about $73 a share. And it was just trading recently, just a few months ago, at $8 a share. So I'm thinking there's a lot of hype being pushed into this company right now. Since the company is a biopharmaceutical with no revenues to mention, we can't look at this company like typical companies, but with its pipeline of drugs and clinical phases. But let's look here, the financials of the company right here. If we look at the balance sheet, it currently only has 23 million or so in cash at the end of 2019 or so, and it needs billions of dollars to do clinical 3 trials of its drugs. So it will need a partner to do a massive stock sales to raise funds, and that will dilute the shares even more. Now, the company's balance sheet, though, overall looks pretty good with its short-term assets exceeding both its short-term and long-term liabilities, and it does have a stable cash runway. It has sufficient cash runway for more than 3 years based on its current free cash flow, but it doesn't have enough money to do the phase 3 clinical trials. Let me bring it back over here. So what did the analysts say on this stock right now? Now, the analyst before this hype up in the stock price had it as a strong buy, and the average stock price target over the 12-month period from now, so 12 months from now, was target of $19.33, with a high estimate of $24 and a low estimate of $14. Now, going over an analyst report, there's only one I could find that actually did a report on this company. The CFRA report, as of yesterday, was a hold recommendation, and the valuation and growth model subcategories were the largest positive and negative drivers for their recommendation. So on my buy, hold, or sell recommendation on Cassava, here are my thoughts. Here's everything potential investors need to know about SAVA stock right now in the interim study results today. Those trial results saw improvements in the cognitive abilities of patients suffering from Alzheimer's disease that were taking the SAVA's simulfilon. Now, the company says that these positive results support moving forward with a phase 3 study of the treatment. Cassava Sciences notes that it plans to start a phase 3 clinical trial in the second half of 2021. But folks, this takes a couple years to get done. It's also planning to increase enrollment in the open label study to 150 patients from the previous 100 patients. The company is also seeking advice from experts on other enhancements for the open label study. Cassava Sciences clinical stage pharmaceutical company focused on neuroscience. This has it targeting the development of treatments for people suffering from debilitating neurodegenerative conditions. The company's lead drug candidate is simulfilon, which restores the normal shape and function of altered filamin A in the brain. Can't even pronounce that. To go along with its Alzheimer's disease treatment, it's also working on a way to test for the illness itself as well. It calls this the SAVA DX, and it's a diagnostic tool that can detect Alzheimer's with just a blood test, which is a really good thing. Now, the company notes that its research is supported by the National Institutes of Health, which provides it with scientific and financial backing. I would like to stress everyone, though, they have not found the cure for Alzheimer's disease. If you bought into the stock and think you're buying into the stock that this is a cure for Alzheimer's disease, just stop right there. This isn't a cure for Alzheimer's disease. Let's just make that argument. Okay, so the bearish argument right now for Cassava is quite a long walk, but it has some merit though. The mechanism of action for simulfilon relies on the drug targeting amyloid beta and tau proteins found in the brain tissue. Researchers theorize, and let me repeat that, they theorize the two proteins accumulate and form plaques that tangle in the brain, causing the degeneration of cognitive functions. It is vital to know that the beta amyloid interaction is a theory, not a widely accepted medical fact. Let's think about that. It's a theory right now. Over the last 20 years or so, biotech giants such as Pfizer, Eli Lilly, and Merck have all designed drug candidates that target Alzheimer's disease based on the beta amyloid hypothesis. All of them have failed in the past, regardless of the dosage of the drug or the stage of the disease. Recently, Biogen became another casualty in the beta amyloid battle after a panel of experts at the U.S. Food and Drug Administration overwhelmingly voted that its experimental drug, Aducanumab, did not establish efficacy in a pivotal phase 3 clinical study. Given the beta amyloid's theory abysmal track record, Schwartz alleged that simulfilon will hit a dead end as well. So it's heavily shorted right now, with about 20% of the stock being shorted, and they say that, well, everybody else has failed with this exact thing. It's going to hit a dead end. That's what the bears say. So Casual is undoubtedly facing the uphill battle over the next couple of years. However, just because the odds are stacked against the company right now does not mean it cannot achieve victory. So far, its ability to verify the efficacy of simulfilon against a placebo before late-stage studies is what sets it apart from the other failed candidates. If you believe in Cassava and are willing to wager that the company's science can hold up in phase 3, then go for your position. But I personally not. It's too much risk for me. But I do have a nod of caution though. Keep in mind, however, that clinical trials for Alzheimer's disease cost an average of $1.8 billion and usually take more than 4 years to finish. Right now, the company only has $94 million in cash, so they increased their cash position since 2019. They increased it from 24 million. Now they have about 94 million. So it probably needs to find a developmental partner to split the bill or sell more stock to raise funds. It will be excruciating weight holding on to a volatile stock for a few years, hoping for good results. For those investing without necessary high risk, high reward mindset, there are other safer options to choose from, like Axum Therapeutics, Exelixis, Novavax, and Vertex for pharmaceuticals. Check those other ones out. There will be high volatility in this stock price over the next couple years. If you want to roll the dice, I would wait till the hype dies down over the next month to purchase into the stock price to get a more reasonable level around the $20 to $30 a share. If you already bought into the stock around $10 a share, and if you want to gamble on this and you actually believe this is actually come to fruition, then by all means, hold on to the shares. But it is a huge gamble. It's a high risk, but definitely a high reward stock but it's going to take years to see that reward. But also remember, the company does not have a huge pipeline of drugs that they are working on. So if this doesn't pan out over the next 4 years, this will be disastrous in the long run for the company, and it'll probably just disappear. I do see a huge potential with additional share dilution over the next few years for the company to raise funds to do phase 3 clinical trials. But what are your thoughts? Please leave your comments down below and give me your thoughts. Let's have a discussion about it. So there you have it, folks. And as always, don't forget to smash that like button down below. And I kind of want to repeat this. Consider subscribing and hit that notification bell if you'd like to hear daily stock reviews and recommendations. Until the next stock update later today, folks. Ciao.